Good morning, everyone. I'd like to call this public meeting to order. If everyone would please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Gahan.
Here.
Mrs. Magnata. Mrs. Gatto.
Here.
Mr. Tobin.
Present.
Mayor Bannon.
Here.
And Mrs. Frabel.
Here.
And we'd like to welcome our newest member, Mayor Michelle Bannon of Carbondale.
Thanks for having me. Love
Thank
being
you.
here.
Opportunity for the public to address the board on agenda items only. Seeing that there is no one, I'll entertain a motion to approve the minutes from our last meeting on January 15th, 2025. Is there a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
On the question, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? The ayes have it, and the minutes have been approved. I'll entertain a motion to approve the vouchers from January 16th, 2025 through March 12th, 2025. Do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
On the question, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? The ayes have it, and the vouchers have been approved. Any bid openings, Ralph?
No, not today.
Okay. On to number 7, discussion items. First up is the land bank property disposition update.
Okay, thanks, Commissioner. As of today, the Land Bank has conveyed 386 properties countywide. The City of Scranton, we have conveyed 272 properties, with 2 properties pending and 3 properties to be acted upon at today's meeting. Just a breakdown by zip codes within the city. In West Scranton, we've conveyed 80 properties. In South Scranton, 67 properties. North Scranton, 72 properties. In Greenridge, 23 properties. In East Scranton, 19 properties. We've conveyed 3 properties to the City of Scranton. We've conveyed 3 properties to United Neighborhood Community Development Corporation, 5 properties to the Scranton Lackawanna Resource Development Corporation, 1 property to the Ronald McDonald House, 59 properties in Covington Township, 19 properties in Carbondale City, 1 property in Vanling Borough, 4 properties in Feld Township, 2 properties in Troop Borough, 16 properties in Scott Township, 5 properties in Thornhurst Township, 1 property in Jefferson Township, 2 properties in Dunmore Borough, 3 properties in Archbold Borough, and 1 property in Blakely.
Very good. Any questions on that? Okay. Next up is our Blight Task Force update.
I'm going to ask Todd to give me your...
Yeah, just one update. As we did last year, NeighborWorks applied for an AmeriCorps and CCC team this spring and summer. That, if approved, we'd have probably 6 to 8 AmeriCorps members in May and June. One of the things that we'll have them working on is cleaning up some vacant land bank properties, primarily in the city of Scranton, possibly up in Carbondale as well. So we'll keep everybody posted, but yeah, we're optimistic we'll have a crew out there helping just clean up and maintain some of the land bank properties again this year.
Very good. Any questions for Todd? All right. Thank you. Next up is the judicial sale.
Commissioner, I'd just like to touch a minute. I don't know if all the board members are familiar with what the commissioners passed at the last meeting. Act 48 of 2024. At the last county commissioners meeting, the commissioners passed an ordinance that establishes a county demolition and rehabilitation fund. It imposes a fee to be collected by the Lackawanna County Tax Claim Bureau. It directs the Tax Claim Bureau and the Office of Sheriffs to collect a fee in the amount of $250 from every purchase of real property from the tax sale or mortgage foreclosure sale, in addition to the purchase price of the property and all other associated fees. The ordinance would become effective 90 days after its passage, which should be around June 5th, and during those 90 days we'll be working on a procedure on how we're going to proceed to carry on this program. But Does anybody have any questions on that? Yeah.
So essentially, once that money builds up, we could take that, and then we'll have to figure out how to kind of dole it out, but.
Right. But that's what we'll do within the next 90 days.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's great. I'm excited about it.
Right, and we thank the commissioners for passing that.
Thank you.
And the land bank's going to be in charge of the fund.
Okay, great.
Okay.
Very good. Okay, next up is the Advisory Committee Property Acquisition Disposition Discussion.
Excuse me, Commissioner, I don't know, maybe Ralph, item 7C, maybe you should talk about the judicial sale.
Right, that's
that
what-
other issue we
Right,
discussed.
Right, no, yeah, we wanted to talk about the upcoming judicial sale on next Monday. Now, I've had some conversation with the city and there are some properties on this judicial sale that are on the demolition list. And I don't know, Sherry, do you think we might proceed with some of these?
I think we can proceed with
Okay,
some of these, yes.
okay. And, go ahead.
Specifically, I'm sorry, we had 918 Madison Avenue, which was an emergency demolition, but it was also on the judicial sale. So there's a few organizations and neighbors that are interested in the property, so I think we move forward with the properties that we discussed.
All right. There are some other structures on there, too. Do you think we should talk about that next week, too?
Yes.
Okay, all right. As everyone knows, the land bank has the power of the preemptive bid, where we can go into the judicial sale and with a prearranged agreement with the Tax Claim Bureau, we can get that for that property, whatever the minimum bid is. So again, hopefully, we can prevent some of these properties from getting more blighted, let's just say. But I think, since we're not having we don't have the properties yet that we're going to be talking about, and we're not going to have another meeting, before the tax sale, which is March 25th. I'm wondering if we should pass a motion just to allow, us to, enter into an agreement with the Tax Claim Bureau. Even though we don't have the properties yet, but I can send an email out to the board once we have these properties in mind, and you can, they can make any comments or anything, and it can be ratified at the meeting in April. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
That makes sense.
All right.
Commissioner, Ralph and I discussed this morning, so I think it's a good idea if we put, as Ralph and I talked about it, put it in the form of a motion now, so at least we have preliminary authority to move forward, and then we would ratify anything we actually took out at the judicial sale. So Ralph drew up this proposed motion for today, so I think we could do it now.
Okay.
If you want to.
Sure. All right. I will entertain a motion to allow the land bank to enter into agreements with the Lackawanna County Tax Claim Bureau to purchase certain tax delinquent properties as determined by the municipality where they are located. The list and descriptions of the properties will be emailed to the Land Bank Board of Directors for review and comment. Any agreements with the Tax Claim Bureau regarding the purchase of said properties will be ratified at the next meeting of the Land Bank Board of Directors. Anyone make that motion?
So moved.
Okay. Is there a second? Second. On the question? All those in favor, say aye. 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 Opposed? The ayes have it, and the motion has been approved. Very good. Anything else, Ralph?
No, that's it right now.
Okay. And then how about the item D? Was there anything on that?
Yeah, that would be the properties we're going to talk about as
Okay.
far as. Okay. All right. The first property for discussion is the property at 1613 Crown Avenue. We received the purchase application from Walter Dellerman, doing business as WWD Real Estate LLC from Heritage Hills Circle in Fredericksburg, Virginia, for the above tax claim repository property. Mr. Dellerman does own other properties in the area. He has relatives in the area as well, and he plans to construct a two-family home on the property to be used as a rental. There are no other applications received for this property. He submitted an offer of $500 for the property. Also, the property next to it on the corner there, the board approved the sale of that property at an earlier meeting. I think it might have been the March meeting. But the dimensions were wrong as far as, so he couldn't do anything, and he still wants the property, but that's why he wants the next one, too. It's just too small to build a house on, so he'll be using both properties, and I just wanted to wait till the board approved this one, too, so we could put them on one deed. The next one is the property on Grand Avenue, parcel pin number 16704010010. And this property purchase application was free from Thomas Charge, 200 Adams Avenue, Scranton. This is a land bank owned property that we've had in our inventory since 2017. It's up in the East Mountain area. He plans to use as green space for now, but eventually they'd like to construct a home on the property. There were no other additional applications for the properties, and he submitted an offer of $500 under the property purchase program. The next one is a property at 422 New Street in Scranton, parcel number 14661010014. And we received a property purchase application from Melindo Perez at 431 New Street in Scranton. This was also a land bank property that we've had in our inventory since 2017. And he owns the property next to it, but he also resides across the street. He's currently renovating the property right next to this, but according to his application, he plans to eventually build a single-family home on the property. There were no other additional applications received for the properties, and he submitted an offer of $500 under the property purchase program. So those were the three for today. Now, we did, go ahead, Todd.
Just wanted to add that the advisory committee did review these 3 applications and would recommend that you move forward with them.
Anyone have any questions on any of those?
Thanks, Ted.
All right, very good. Okay, next up are the resolutions. First up is resolution number 25-004. This is approving the acquisition of additional property from the Tax Claim Office repository list of unsold property. Do I have a motion to approve?
I'll make the motion.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
On the question? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? The ayes have it, and the resolution has been approved. Resolution number 25-005. This is approving the conveyance of certain land bank-owned property under the property purchase program. Do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
On the question? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? The ayes have it, and the resolution has been approved. Next up is resolution number 25-006. This is approving a professional services agreement and execution of an engagement letter for audit services for year ending December 31st, 2024. Do I have a motion to approve?
Motion to approve?
Is there a second?
I'll second.
On the question? Ralph, do you want to just explain this?
Yes. I sent an email out to the board at the, I believe it was the December meeting. You agreed to have me get in touch with Joe Alou, who's been doing our property, who's doing our audits for the past couple of years. Then he informed me that he's no longer doing audits, so we had to reach out to some other CPAs. The first person I reached out to, he thought he could do it, but he didn't have the credentials to do it either. So word of mouth, they told me to get in touch with Joe Garvey from Barbetti McHale. I talked to Mr. Garvey, and he said he could do can perform the audit for $2,000. So I sent the email out to the board of directors, and I believe it was unanimously, agreed upon. So that's where we are today. So he did submit his engagement letter, which, okay.
Okay, very good. Anyone else on the question? No? All right. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? The ayes have it, and the resolution has been approved. Opportunity for the public to address the board. Okay, being that there's no one here, directors, other business, does anyone have anything they'd like to discuss or talk about?
I'd just like to bring something up that comes up periodically as far as, asking property owners asking for permission to sell their property prior to the 5-year retention period. I had recently had a couple of property owners ask if they could buy out their contract, okay? I mean, we don't have anything in our policies and procedures in order to do that, okay? Like, one of them proposed, well, what if we pay the taxes, half the taxes for the next 5 years, or whatever, how many years we have left in our retention period? I mean, I don't know if we want to consider doing that or look into it a little further. I mean, naturally, we're not going to make any decisions today, but these are the things that some of the, they're looking for ways to, to get out of the agreement, because they want to either sell the property over a hardship or sickness, or sometimes they just really even want to just sell the property. But I just wanted to bring that to the board's attention.
Do any of the land banks do that?
Ralph and I discussed this issue this morning, and again, we have a sample bylaws and procedures from Westmoreland County, and they have something in there to address those exotic situations. So, Ralph and I have to look at it, and maybe we'll consider amending our policies and procedures to give some flexibility. But right now, we can't do something like that. That wouldn't be consistent with our written policies. So we're going to look into it. But my personal opinion, as long as we get our money and the properties on the tax roll with a responsible new owner, that's a win-win situation. The last thing we want is people to abandon it and say, well, I'm not paying, and then it's back to square one, So we'll look into that.
Yeah, just on, I do have a copy of the Westmoreland County, and they have the same, 5-year retention period as we do. But one of their, a buyout fee, should a purchaser need one or all of the requirements to be waived, which would be the 5-year retention and paying the real estate taxes for 5 years, a fee will be assessed according to the fair market value of the property. Now, I don't know if they're talking about right at the beginning when, when they buy the property, or, at some point, like 2 years later. So, I mean, I have to get in touch with these.
Possibly current market value.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
my only concern with this is that the 5 years is put in place because it's to help these people. They have a property, it's their side lot, they're building, it's going back on the tax rolls. If we look at it a case-by-case situation, I think that that's a smart thing for us to do.
Right.
But if somebody comes in and they're purchasing a property, say $500 today, and then in 2 years want to buy it out, then they're essentially making money on a property, a lot of money on a property.
Right.
So I guess we just have to
Yeah.
think this through.
Definitely. Yeah. Okay, but I just want to bring that forward again. Okay.
Hey, Ralph, you said they would pay half the taxes, correct?
Yeah.
Why half?
Well, because I think they probably thought that that's what the land bank gets, because maybe that's the way, right, that's the way I might have put it to them, right? That, I might have put it to them, because, say that, we rely on, to keep the land bank moving, we rely on half the taxes for those 5 years. So maybe they thought it that way, but.
Well, maybe they could pay all of the taxes.
Yeah, right. I agree.
Okay, very good. Anybody have anything else? Ralph, do you have anything else?
No, I think I'm good.
Okay. Anybody? No? All right. Very good. Thank you. With that, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn. Is there a second?
I'll second.
On the question, our next scheduled meeting is April 9th, 2025 at 11 a.m. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? This meeting is adjourned.